Check, check, check. Mic check, mic check. Give me a Chuck check. Check, baby, 1, 2. Oh, well. They call me the. Oh. Well. Yes. Testing, testing, testing.
Test, test, test. What do you call a cow with no legs?
I don't know what.
Ground beef.
Ooh.
We're good. Okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2025-2029 Consolidated Plan 2025 Annual Action Plan for the Mobile County Grants Department. The Mobile County Grants Department consists of Gordon Bauer, who is the Director of Grants Management, Renee Barron, Deputy Director of Grants Management, Ben Kim, Compliance and Policy Officer, Matasha King, Grants Management Coordinator, Adeline Booya, Grants Management Coordinator, Jessica Johnson, Grants Management Coordinator, and Eamon Benson, Accountant 2. Today's meeting is to review, in addition to the public hearing, but also an opportunity for an application workshop to inform everyone that the county is in the process of developing its 2025 action plan for its HUD programs and to obtain feedback from the public regarding this process. The county is in the process of developing its 2025-2029 5-year consolidated plan. We will also discuss the HUD programs managed by the county with special focus on the upcoming CDBG application process, which includes both a capital project and public service component. HUD designated Mobile County as an urban county in 2002 based on census population data from 2000. We know that we have since had a 2020 census, but the funding numbers have not been updated. Once that process is completed, we could potentially see an adjustment. Mobile County serves as both the grantee and lead agency for the Mobile Urban County, which includes 9 municipalities. Our program year begins July 1st and ends June 30th. Mobile Urban County participants include Biola Battery, Chickasaw, Citronelle, Creola, Mount Vernon, Pritchard, Saraland, Satsuma, Sims, and all unincorporated areas within Mobile County. The exceptions are Dauphin Island and the City of Mobile, which receives its own allocation funding from HUD. CDBG program addresses decent and safe housing, community development, public services, while ESG addresses homelessness as well as homelessness prevention. The HOME program addresses affordable housing. In order to receive funding for these HUD programs, the county must submit a consolidated plan every 5 years. Mobile County is currently in the planning stages for the 2025 to 2029 consolidated plan, which will feed into our action plan. An annual action plan for each year of the 5-year planning period must be completed. The plan includes a breakdown of our anticipated allocation, broken out into specific projects and activities, including performance measures. The development of the annual action plan is the focus of today's meeting. The submission of CDBG applications helps to inform the proposed activities to be undertaken. Mobile County will be reaching out to the community for assistance in developing the next consolidated plan. The 2025 urban county funding anticipated is based on the 2024 funding level. So for CDBG, we received $1.6 million for home investment partnerships, $555,000 for a total of $2.1 million. CDBG allocations, 20% is designated for administration, 15% public services, and 65% for capital projects and other activities. What's the purpose of CDBG? It's to develop viable communities by providing decent housing and suitable living environments. Any projects designated as CDBG projects must meet one of three national objectives: low MOD, area benefit, as well as limited clientele, slum blight, area bases or spot bases, as well as urgent need. The screen displays the 2024 income limits based on household sizes. These limits are based on HUD's estimate of median family income within the Mobile County area, and it's updated annually. CDBG project eligibility is based on the benefit to low to moderate income persons. It must align with the CDBG priorities stated previously, as well as a new public service or measurable expansion if service is provided by or on behalf of the county. For our capital improvement projects, infrastructure and public facilities, including sidewalks, street drainage projects, as well as senior, family, or other assistance. We also look at demolition and spot blight clearance within the county and a homeowner housing repair assistance, which we currently, with the 2023-2024 allocation, have through Habitat for Humanity as a partner. So for a few examples for infrastructure projects, for public facilities, new construction and rehab of existing facilities. So these are some examples of senior centers as well as fire departments who have been assisted via CDBG funding. This is an example of road and drainage improvements. This was actually on East Elm Street. You can see the before and after photo here. And we also use CDBG funding for park and recreation improvements. So the examples listed here: MOWA Choctaw Housing Authority, as well as the Whistler Bike Trail. For demolition and spot blight clearance, the focus is the removal of nuisance structures. So these are a few examples of spot blight removing for dilapidated residential structures. So we have before, during the removal, and then after. Here you see an example of the cleaning of a collapsed home, because we know what happens when we have blighted areas within a community. This is an example of our homeowner housing repair assistance roof replacement, and this is the completion. We also use CDBG funding to address accessibility issues related to folks with limited mobility. So the priority of needs for CDBG, specifically related to public services with an up to 15% cap, youth and children's services, disability services, senior services, domestic violence, child abuse, meals, food distribution, and legal services. And we utilize various public service agencies to carry out these activities. Home allocations, we have 10% designated for administration, 15% for CHODO, and 75% for housing. So the goal for HOME is to provide funding for affordable housing. This is an example of a unit that was built for elderly citizens within the county, Arbors at Satsuma. We also had a secondary location, Legacy Trail at Sims. And so this allows folks to have access to affordable housing. We also have the Mobile County Down Payment Assistance Program that's geared toward home ownership for new and first-time homebuyers. The program provides up to $25,000 in assistance, and our program was relaunched in August of this year, where the assistance limit was increased from $10,000 to up to $25,000. And we've since received over 30 applications. ESG allocation, it's contingent upon funding. Mobile County received funding for the first time in 2023. Prior to that, we had not received funding for 9 years or more. We did not receive funding for 2024, but the allocation is 7.5% for administration. And then we also have street outreach and emergency shelter, as well as homelessness prevention and rapid rehousing. So these funds may be used for street outreach, emergency shelter, as well as homelessness prevention. Home applications are taken during the year on an as-needed basis. We also submit requests for proposals that we publish in our local newspaper, and the same applies for ESG. So as funding becomes available, we do request applications. For our program year 2025, for our CDBG funding, we have our first public hearing application workshop today. The next big milestone for us is the deadline for proposal submissions, which is January 21st, 2025 at noon. And then we'll look for commission approval of our final action plan submission to HUD on May 8th, 2025, after we have our 30-day comment period. And then our program year for 2025 begins July 1st, 2025. The county also received CARES Act funding, which we call CDBG-CV. We're currently expending the final funding from our round 3. And that assisted in improvements in senior centers with walking trails, as well as meal delivery. Listed on the screen is the Mobile County Grants Department website, where all of this information is available to the public. Are there any questions? Thank you so much for your support and your attention. Have a great day.